10:05 a.m. You will have your outline below. For those of you that's listening via Zoom, you can go to your city's webpage, hit COVID-19, and you can connect from there. That's go to the city's webpage, hit COVID-19, and you will be able to connect from there. The meeting has been called to order. We will ask that we do a silent word of prayer. And please remember all families, all cities, as we go to the throne for prayer. One moment of silent prayer, please. Amen. Item number 3, Ms. Taylor.
Item 2, we're going to do roll call. Roll call. Councilor
Yes,
Alexander. Councilor Alexander.
Muted.
Roll call. Councilor Alexander.
She's muted.
She's muted.
I think she's muted, but I don't know.
She needs to unmute herself.
Yeah, she sure does.
I don't know that she can hear us. Kimberly, shake your head if you can hear us.
She
Yeah.
cannot. She
Cannot hear us.
Rick, are you on the line, Rick? Okay.
Okay, she's unmuted
Yes, ma'am.
now.
Okay.
I unmuted you.
Okay.
She's
So we're
unmuted now. I don't see the little microphone in front of her now.
Okay. So roll call. Councilor Alexander. Councilor Alexander.
It seems a bit delayed for her.
Okay, we're going to continue. Councilor Collier.
Present.
Councilor Marshall.
Present.
Councilor Matthews.
Present.
Councilor Thigpen.
Present.
Councilor Crusoe.
Present.
Councilor Donald.
Present.
Councilor Alexander. I see her. She's on the line. She just can't hear us. So we have 6 present, 1 absent. She's there. She can't hear us. So we do have a quorum.
We do have a quorum. Item number 3, Ms. Taylor.
Approval of minutes from September 1st and September 15, 2020.
Will you have, Madam Chair, will you have Ms. Coleman to call Councilor Alexander, please?
That is what I'm doing right now, Councilor Matthews.
Okay. Ms. Coleman, not available? Okay.
Yes, that's
All
what
right,
I just did. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Council, you see that we have the minutes from September the 1st and September the 15th, 2020. Are there any questions and or concerns? I can say this for the insurance change. I would think we need to get with Mr. Petway, who's our agent, and to see whether or not he can come in and give some classes and or information to the employees. It has come to my attention that there are some employees who don't understand the Viva healthcare. So I would ask the mayor, along with our insurance committee to please get Mr. Petway in so that these employees can come in and ask the questions that need to be asked. Are there any questions and concerns with the minutes from the 15th and from the first council? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Can we get a motion?
I'm sorry, motion. I need a motion and a second, please.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes for our
Thank you, Donna.
first
Second.
and September 15th.
I heard half of you.
Second.
It has been properly motioned and second that we approve the minutes for September 1st, September 15th, 2020. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander. Counselor Collier.
Aye.
Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews. Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, no nays. The motion carries.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh,
We
great.
can hear you now.
I
Wonderful.
hear you now.
Go
So
ahead and announce Counselor Alexander to the meeting, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander arrived at the city council meeting at 10:11 a.m.
Thank you. Item number 4, Ms. Taylor.
Committee meetings.
Counselors, do we have any reports
Madam
from
Chair.
committee? Yes, sir,
Madam
Counselor
Chair.
Matthews.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, we had a small cell committee meeting. I was kind of, I was looking at that and I saw committee meeting, but this is a committee report. And we did meet on at 7 p.m. Teleconference by phone. And there was a long and deep discussion concerning small cells and concerning the Mr. Blankenship, and the attorneys weighed in and all committee members and the mayor. And the report is that Attorney Payton and Attorney Harris, well, let me say this. There was a meeting yesterday between Attorney Payton and Mr. Blankenship concerning small cell. And it wasn't a lengthy meeting, from my understanding from Attorney Payton, but the takeaway from last night, the committee and the committee agreed that Attorney Payton and Attorney Harris and Mr. Blankenship will meet, and hopefully soon, and come back to this committee, and we will bring the findings back from that meeting. We're going to meet one more time and come back with a recommendation.
Counselor Matthews, do we have any clue of when this meeting is going to take place?
Well, no, we don't have a clue. Attorney Payton, when are you planning on giving Mr. Harris and circling back with Mr. Blankenship?
So my understanding is that Mr. Blankenship is supposed to provide me with a professional services agreement setting forth the scope of services. And that's the next thing that will happen.
Right. Yeah, I did leave that out, but go ahead with.
And when
I
I
was
get
gonna
that,
say that
when I get that back, then I thought I would send that on to the committee. I'm getting some feedback. I'm in the council chambers. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
But, you know, he was going to try to get me something last night prior to the meeting, but he, like I, didn't know about the meeting last night until yesterday afternoon. So he said he would get that to me, but then right before the meeting last night, he said he had a city council meeting he had to attend and he could not get that before the meeting last night. So I would expect it.
Right.
3 or 4 days or so. I don't know. That'd be what
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Okay.
And then I will follow up with him
and
and meet with him.
also, okay. And Madam Chair and everyone, that is true. Attorney Payton didn't know about the meeting until yesterday afternoon. But the next one, and I've had some dialogue going forward. All the participants will know during post at the time of posting. Am I correct, Councilor Crusoe and Councilor Thigpen? Okay, yeah.
Yes,
So,
sir, you are.
Okay, so that's next on our agenda, is to get a scope of services provided to the council attorney, and then after which we will convene again and come back to this body. Okay.
Thank you so much for that report. Are there any more committee reports? Item number 5, Ms. Taylor.
Presentations, awards, announcements, and recognitions.
Mayor Gully.
Good morning to you, Madam President, and entire council, and all who's on the Zoom call. I just want to briefly speak to the comment that you brought up, which was the transition from Blue Cross Blue Shield and stuff to Viva. Viva actually, as you all know, crafted a policy just and stuff for us, and we literally just moved over the benefits and premium from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Now, I've spoken with Mr. Bruce Petway, and it is our intention for any employees who may have any questions that he's going to be up here at least once a week, and so to answer any questions that they may have to make this transition as seamless as possible. But whatever benefits and stuff that you have, we did not go up on premiums, and your benefits and stuff did not and stuff change. But he will be available to answer any questions that you may have, as well as if you have any questions and he is not here, then we'll be more than happy to take those questions and move them on to him or Viva or our payroll department and stuff as well. But I do want to know that he is available to speak with anyone who needs to talk about the transition. Thank you.
Thank you,
Madam
Mayor
Chair,
Gully. Yes,
Madam
sir.
Chair,
Yes, sir,
just
Councilman.
the mayor was directly on point, and every employee got a letter explaining the transition and also explaining to them that none of the benefits that they had on the Blue Cross Blue Shield changed. Everything is the same. Mr. Petway comes once a month to answer, any questions any employees have, and he will continue to do that. But there was a letter, and the letter made the fact clear that nothing changed about the coverage of the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. It was the very same.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. And I will let them know that he will be here. Is it once a month or once a week, Mayor Gully?
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
customarily, he has always been here once a month, but during the small transition period from Blue Cross to Viva, he will be here, or we've been discussing with him to be here once a week.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
I did not hear you. You had muted yourself.
My space bar.
Okay.
Did we work out something for the retirees that live in Tuscaloosa County that aren't eligible for the Viva?
We have.
Yes. Yes.
That
Yeah.
was one of the questions. That was a big concern.
Yeah.
All of that has been worked out.
Thank you so much.
under 65 retiree that moved to Ohio, I think it's Ohio, that was concerned about her coverage. So I didn't know if all of that had been worked out.
Yes, ma'am, it has been worked out.
Right,
That person still would be covered under
the group plan.
the group plan. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you all. That was one of the questions that, and or concerns. And I'll let them get into the other questions that they have with Mr. Petway. Anything else, Mayor Gully?
Well, thank you, Madam President.
Item number 6, Ms. Taylor.
Ordinance authorizing issuance of limited obligation library refunding warrant series 2020A, Walter Lewis.
Is Mr. Lewis on the line? Mr. Lewis, are you on the line?
He
I show that he's muted. Can you hear me, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. What about yourself and the
I'm
council
good.
and the mayor, everybody here? Good to see y'all this morning.
It's good to see you and thank you for coming to the city of Bessemer with this presentation.
You want me to just kind of walk through the
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's
Yes, sir.
perfect. First of all, I'd like to say thank the city and the library authority and board to in reference to this. This is something that I've been kind of watching for the last year or so, and I got a call about a month ago saying that rates had fallen to a point to where it made real good sense to refinance this particular issue. And I've had a meeting with the school, with the library board, and they're in approval of this process and what we're trying to do. And I think the process in terms of involving the city this is the last piece of the puzzle. So what I want to do is I want to walk through the details of it, and I want to allow you all to ask questions if you have some. I think it's a unique opportunity for this particular issue there with the city and the library board. I'm going to ask you to turn to page number 2. And I want you to look to the left side of this presentation here, where it says summary of statistics. If you notice, it says bond par amount 2,960,000. And you look right below that, it says 1.13% in terms of interest rate. This transaction is a little bit different than a bond transaction. It's what they call a private placement. And in a private placement, you have institutions that are willing to come in and take down the entire transaction as opposed to distributing it amongst investors. And Zions Bank they do this type of stuff all the time. They've been after this transaction for about 2 or 3 months. There were some things that we had to provide for them. Keela has been working with us to help provide information from the city to Zions Bank. We got all our information there, and they came back with this commitment of 1.13%, there. So what we're looking at on October the 15th, that's the time that we're going to actually try to close this transaction there. They give us a commitment of 1.13%. We're looking to pay off the old warrants, library warrants, which if you look down below there, it says 2.860, where it says par amount of refunded bonds.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis, what, Madam Chair, what page are you on? You said page 2.
Page 2, yes.
Left side.
Page 2, it should say refunding analysis summary at the top.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's all y'all have? Okay.
No,
that makes sense
we're in the
now.
wrong ballpark. Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
That's okay. Well, let me say this. I've been working with Wanda and we and Ms. Coleman. I think I sent the presentation to
the city so that we could kind of disperse it out so we could walk through this with the group there.
Yeah,
But
well.
and I came prepared to do that there. So
Okay, well, we don't have that. What
don't
you
have
Louis,
we
I
don't
think
have
all
what
they have,
you
I think all
may
they
I
have is the ordinance, the warrant ordinance. They
Well,
don't.
we-
have
Exactly.
okay,
presentation.
well that is my bad. And
Exactly. That's all we have.
so I can get now I can go over the highlights of this with the city there and just tell you what's on the table. And I'm very open to going through the details of it as well. But you have the warrant ordinance in front of you, and and you don't have the presentation. I can just give you the highlights of what's on the table here, if that's the wishes of the council and the administration.
Madam President,
well
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to
Madam
see it
Chair,
in black and white. I'd like to see it in black and white.
One moment, please. One moment, please. I can only hear one at a time.
I'd like to
Counselor
see-
Alexander.
I'd like to see it in black and white because I like to know what I'm reading and what I'm looking at. Do he not have it to, Ms. Coleman
Mr.
can
Lewis,
send
do
it
you
to
have a
us?
copy whereas we can scan it and send it to all the counselors?
Angela should have a copy, Madam President. I
Yes, ma'am.
emailed her a copy of it, so Angela should have a copy of it.
Yes, and I have a copy here on a drive that I was wondering if I could plug it in here. Is that possible? You couldn't put it on the screen and share a screen.
Yes, you can share the screen. You can share your screen.
Your screen she can.
I'm just wondering if so. Is it possible I can put it on here and share the screen? Let me see if we can get it plugged in here.
Thank you.
I can get
While we're sharing that 1.13 looks good. Will they consider refinancing homes?
That's a good question. I like that. That's how to bring some humor to a tough situation.
Yeah, will they
like that.
reconsider? Reconsider.
You get
Council,
and you minimize this and
The
get
two-
so we can get
so-
to the drive.
that's lowest it's ever been in my lifetime.
That's low right there, Donna. I was looking at them last night and
you
when I tell you that 1.13,
minimize that screen.
that's good
Okay.
right there.
Yeah, it is pretty phenomenal. The 10-year treasury bond, I think this morning was 0.71. So this is less than double, less than 1% over the 10-year treasury bill. I don't know how they can do it.
That is wonderful.
There you go. See. So just bear with me for 1 second. Wait, how do I
Send it to everybody.
insert my latest
Counselors,
Because we're here.
Angela just brought me a copy. She's getting ready to send it to all of you all. Can you see me? This is what you're talking about?
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir.
Hold on 1 second. How do we get back to? Yes, that. All right. Right here.
All counselors should have a copy in just a minute.
Shan, you need a copy? You good?
I have it.
I got it.
What has been email? Okay, what do you mean? Email?
That's email.
Okay, does anyone have a clue,
Yeah.
while he's working on it, I'm sure he'll get to it, as to how many years this bond, is for?
You open that? Sure.
Yeah, Mr. Lewis will get into it, but it's a 10-year bond, but I'll let him
10 year.
get into it.
Yes, sir.
10
Thank you.
10-year bond at 1.113%.
I have that percentage. I didn't get the,
Mr. Lewis, you are sharing now.
let me turn my
All right, can you share? Is that it? Scroll down to number 2. Let's pull. Perfect. Y'all see this on the screen?
Just a little bit more, and we're there.
Yes.
Can you see it on the screen?
Yes.
Need to go up a little bit more,
I know.
but we can see it.
Okay, let's just minimize. Can we minimize? Can you make it full screen? Or where they can all see the whole thing at the same time. That needs to go.
Excuse me, Madam President, I have a question for Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis, is your percentage in here? Your
Yes,
what's your
it's all in
percentage?
there. It's all in there. It's all in there. Okay, can everybody see that okay? Is that too small? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now we're on the same page.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, on the left-hand side there, you have a what they call a summary of statistics. And what I want to call your attention to, if you look at the dated date at the top, it says 10/15/2020. That's when we're actually going to close this transaction here. And we've been talking back and forth with lawyers, so on and so forth, with Zions Bank and their attorneys, and they got all their paperwork. There'll be some things that the city will have to sign off on prior to us actually closing this transaction there. But that's the intent right now. That's why this meeting here is very important as it relates to the city being aware and the city understanding enough to where we can actually approve it and move forward there. True interest costs, you see it says bond par amount, $2,960,000. That's what we're going to actually issue and determine there as a new issue, the 2028. That's what that 2012 issue, it's going to become the 2028, and it's going to be a $2.96 million transaction there. And right below it, you can see the true interest costs of 1.13%. That's what they're agreeing to with us. Now, if you look below there, it says par amount of refunded bonds. There, the 2.860, that's what's outstanding right now. Okay. That's what's outstanding. And we're going to take that 2.960 million and pay off the 2,860,000. And below the 2,860,000, you can see the interest rate on the warrants that were done in 2012 is 3.01%. And of course, we're going from a 3.01% down to a 1.13. So if you're going from a high interest rate to a low interest rate, that generates savings. And the savings that you're looking at there in terms of present value is about $182,000, you know, to the library authority in the city. And that equates to about 6.37% on a present value basis. And what the trigger that makes me want to come to the city and want to do this deal and make it work, if in our industry, if we can save at least 3% net of the cost of doing a transaction, it merits doing that. If you're in the real estate business, if you can save 2%, they'll do a deal with a house. They'll refinance your house if you can save 2%. In our industry, it's 3%, and this deal is showing 6.37%. From our perspective, it makes sense to do it, and that's net of the cost of doing it, you know, there. So what I wanted to do is show you all this in terms of the summary statistics. Now, there's a question in terms of the cost of actually expediting this transaction there. You look below there, it says use of uses. It says refunding escrow deposit or cash deposit. To pay off this whole issue here, it's $2,881,553. That's what it's going to take to pay it off. Okay. And then the cost of issuance below that in terms of placement fee. The placement fee is what Piper Sandler receives in order to place this issue. It's 1.25%. That's $37,000. Okay. And then here it says attorney's fees, but there's some other things in there as well. We have that an estimate of 35 grand. That's the bond attorney costs. That's disclosure counsel, which is in this case would be Shan Payton with the city. And then you have Aaron Killings with the library authority. Their fee is in this analysis here. One fee that is not in there right now, which will be absorbed in that miscellaneous number, is the trustee. US Bank is the trustee of this transaction. And I think their fee in terms of being able to set up and create an acceptance cost is going to be about $2,500, I think.
Madam President, excuse me, Mr. Lewis. I just want to stop you while this thought is here. Okay, yes. We said with the attorney fees of the 35,000, that's for Attorney Payton and Attorney Killings.
No, it is a bond attorney who is Butler Snow. I think Austin Ray is charging 25, it's either 25 or 27 grand to be the bond counsel where he's drawing up all the documentations for this. Attorney Payton is getting 7,500 for his disclosure in terms of the work he's having to do. And then for the disclosure on the scoop on the library authority is Aaron Killings. I think his fee is 7,500 as well, you know, there. And then what's left, that's it. Go ahead, Ms. Crusoe.
No problem. I'm just getting some clarity. So outside of the salary that, which, you know, Shan Payton is paid, there are other income that's accrued through other things such as, you know, outside of the salary that you know that's paid by the city.
In this particular case, Ms. Crusoe, it is.
Yes, sir.
This is nothing that's out of the ordinary. You know, yes, there where you have a local counsel that works for a city in terms of his disclosure and what he may have to inquire from a cost standpoint. It's allowable relative to a transaction that may be expedited outside of just normal city business. You know, there. So yes, that's a cost that's associated.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was just getting some clarity on it. Thank you so much.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam President. Mr.
Yes,
Lewis, your agent fee is $37,000, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much money actually goes to the library board? Because I see you said it's 2.9, but the refunded bond, I mean, we have to pay off the 2.8.
Yes.
So they're only left with like $100,000, $100,000.
Well, yeah. Here's. This is on the left at the bottom is the breakdown of all the costs. And if you notice the proceeds at the top, the 2.9 million, 2.960 million. If you look at those are proceeds coming from, you know, the lender, they're the total. And then if you look at the cost of issuance total, it all totals up to 2.960 million. And having those funds always match, you know, there. Now, what I want to get into on the opposite side of you is if you look at the top portion there over to your right, it says prior debt service. Here's the benefit to the library. Okay, it says prior debt service. That's the debt service that the library warrants or the library is having to pay right now. So $333,000 a year, roughly 327. You can see it goes out to 2030. With this deal that we've come up with, what is allowing the board to do is reduce their debt service payment. Okay, if you do if you refinance a house, a lot of times you refinance and you refinance at a lower rate to lower your debt service payment. And this refinance here is essentially that. We're not extending the term at all. The library board was at one point wanting to get some money out of this to do something with, but they had more than enough money on hand based on the cash flow that they received from their ad valorem tax. And so what we decided to do and what they agreed upon is we would free up cash flow in that very first year. If you notice, in 2021 at the very top, you see the 38,860 there. They were wanting about that much in terms of cash. So what we did was, instead of cashing out and giving them cash up front, we structured it where we freed up a payment of $38,000 to where they could divert their funds that come in towards something else that they need in order to improve the library. So that freed up cash flow for them in that particular year. And then if you notice after that, there's a freeing up of cash about 19,000, 15,000, 16,000, so on and so forth, all the way out to 2030. Those cash flow payments there, that's just something they don't have to pay in the years to come. So when that's all said and done, at the end of the term, they would have saved $185,000 on a $2 million transaction, or $2 million plus transaction there. That's the benefit to the library board as it relates to that. We're freeing up cash flow for them. They did have an option where they could take some cash out if they needed it, but they did not need it. So they chose to take cash over time in terms of the cash flow savings there. Okay. And if you any questions on that? Any questions?
Madam President?
Yes, sir, Councilor Marshall.
And Walter, so we said over the 10-year period, it's
Yes,
a
sir.
savings of about 185,000, right?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. And as I understand it, or mayor or attorney, this money will be set aside in a library fund account, which I assume they already have. And so the savings will go into the account every.
No,
No, it would go,
let me comment on that, Ron.
Okay.
In this particular transaction, there's no money that will go into a fund. The savings that they're getting is they're getting it over time in cash, just on an annual basis. If you look at where it says savings there.
Hey, Walter.
Yes.
It will come back to the city and stuff yearly through their ad valorem overage that we currently pay the library every year when it comes to their ad valorem tax. If you lower and stuff the debt service, then that means and stuff the refunding back to the library from the city will be higher. So that's how they and stuff will get and stuff the money back annually.
Exactly.
Correct? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's a one-time annual refund back to them.
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
No, it wouldn't be a one time. It would be.
It wouldn't be one time. It wouldn't be one time. It's over 10 years.
It would be yearly. Through
It
your
would be
yearly ad valorem.
right. It would be annually.
Right.
Whatever the amount. that
Annually
Walter
does
talked-
mean one time a year.
Yeah, Walter talked about 18,000, 19,000. It'll be one time. The amount will be one time. Right.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
Hey.
If you were to look at that savings column there,
Mm-hmm.
in that savings column, those are the savings on an annual basis that you're talking about, and that's what I was mentioning to you that you're getting.
And that was my point. Is just annually, those are the figures that would go as the mayor described through the ad valorem.
Absolutely.
President, Madam President, how much was the ad valorem? How much did they get in ad valorem this year?
I can make a comment to that, Kim. I think the ad valorem tax total is about $900,000 or so that the library authority gets, and I think they utilize that money to pay debt service, but they also utilize it to be able to service the library as well.
Yes, Walter. After I would say after the debt service has been satisfied, we probably send the library in Apalorum somewhere in the neighborhood of about $200,000 to $250,000 a year.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So they
but
have
thi-
not received, they have not, Mayor Gully, they have not received their 200 to 250,000 this year.
Yes, ma'am. I'll have to double check that and so, but I'm almost positive that Apalorum has already gone to the library. I spoke with library representatives, I want to say about 3 to 4 months ago. Obviously, it may have been a little slow because and stuff of COVID and Apalorum coming in, but that refund has already been sent back to the library.
Madam President, is Austin Ray, is he on the call?
he is. He is. I'm not sure if he's on the call, but I know he was supposed to be involved somehow.
Yeah, I sent him the link yesterday, but is he? Austin, could you explain the exact procedure for the tax proceeds, where they go and how they're paid and on the debt service and then back to the library, the exact procedure of that? The short version of it is the tax are pledged and the debt service has to be paid first, and then the library.
You're muted.
See any
Says you're muted. You're muted.
I'm muted, okay. All right. If you'll mute that one.
I did.
All right. All right, so the taxes, Apalorum taxes are received, and I've got this huge echo going, but they're received, they're pledged to the debt service, the debt service is paid, then the excess funding goes to the library. That's how that works.
That is correct. Got me muted now. Okay, can I continue?
You can continue.
Okay, good. So in terms of what's at the top on the right-hand side of the page, you can see the cash flow savings there. And then in terms of what the the library board will pay going forward is the bottom portion of that, where it says Series 2020 debt service. This is what it looks like in real life once we close in October 15th. There, instead of having the higher debt service payments, you'll have an issue that has a 10-year life that goes out to 2030. Your payments be less than what they started with there. So that's what the issue will look like there at the bottom of the page, there.
Gentlemen, this is Austin Ray. I can't, are you hearing me? I hear an echo in my end of things.
Yeah, we can hear you, Austin.
Okay. I apologize. I was trying to get off of mute and unsuccessfully. But Shan is correct that the entire allocable portion of taxes for this warrant issue are given to the city in a lump sum annually by the tax collector.
Okay. Hey, for new council members that are on the council, Austin Ray is bond counsel, and his role in this transaction is all the disclosure documents, all of the legal aspects of these transactions. He pulls that together and pulls all the structuring aspects from a legal perspective together. So for Kim and Ms. Crusoe and Jarvis, or who's on here that's kind of going through this for the first time, that's his role relative to this transaction. And what have you. There was a question early on about the attorneys or whatnot, and that's him talking and telling, he writes it up in terms of how the money flows, so on and so forth. So that's kind of how he plays in this transaction overall with this deal. That's basically the long and the short of this. If there are more questions, I'll be more than happy to entertain those that the city may have.
Councilors, you've heard Mr. Lewis with the refunding analysis summary. Are there any more questions and or comments?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir, Councilor Marshall.
don't have a question or a concern. Thank you, Walter, for always looking out and staying abreast of what the interest rates are doing. And for those of us who've been on the council, we recognize that it was through refunding that we were able to do the new rec center, the new city hall. So this is a very important part of how we get things done and save the city some money, not extend any time. But it's a really, really good tool to use. And we need to have someone always watching out for those interest rates and seeing how we can take advantage of them. So again, thank you, Walter.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chair. Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
just to piggyback off that, yes, thank you, Mr. Lewis. We appreciate you working and keeping an eye on this. But also kudos to this council and the mayor and our accountants and accounting department that increased our bond rating so high that we do get this 1.13% rate. So we worked hard because that's not where we were. But Mr. Lewis, what is our rating right now?
You're AA minus Standard & Poor's, and you're AA3 Moody's right now as a city, and that's really, really good. Really is. Any other questions or thoughts?
Mr. Lewis, may I ask a question, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is where did the city come from to get where we are now?
Well, in terms of how you got to the AA rating, or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think it was just a meeting of the minds. Just seeing, first of all, you saw where you were, and I think it was commitment amongst everybody involved to get focused, to get understanding, and just charge to try to solve the problems. And that's what I saw when it came together, 8 years ago, there. And that formula works for anybody, there. Is everybody pulling together, working together, everybody seeing the same obstacle that was ahead, and everybody focusing on an obstacle and trying to deal with it. That's what I saw, and that's to me is how the city got to this point, there.
And Madam President.
Yes, sir.
And I like to add and stuff to that because when we were elected back in 2010, if my memory serves me right, we were a C minus and a B minus and stuff on those two respectively.
That is what I wanted to hear. That is what I was getting at.
Yeah, you had your struggles then, but like I said, you pulled together and you made stuff happen, and that's what it's about in city government. And when you're able to do that, you get a lot of stuff done, there relative to your opportunities that are out there. There are some opportunities. I'm gonna say this: there are some opportunities out there right now for this city, to be able to take advantage of. And the same approach is on the table for everybody involved, there. And we just, if we do that, you can take advantage of a lot of opportunities there for the city.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir. Councilor Matthews.
Yeah, I'd just like to add my little 2 cents and say that's a job well done, and I won't be lengthy with it. And hopefully we can continue to have savings for the city, and then we can utilize monies in other needed areas. And I noticed a few weeks ago in one of our local, it was online, but one of our sister cities took advantage of some bond refinancing and savings that they could capitalize on. And I'm hoping there's some other, as Mr. Lewis just stated, which made me think about that, said some other opportunities. And I hope we have more bonds out there than the library bonds. So I'm hopefully that we can do some other, make some other initiatives like we just made, because there is some needed infrastructure and work that needs to be done in the city of Bessemer. And the top of the list is paving. So I will end with saying that, but good job. Thank you, Mr. Lewis and Piper Jaffe.
Thank you, Jesse.
Councilors, you've heard Mr. Lewis. You have the ordinance before you.
Madam
Do I have
Chair,
a motion?
I move to consider the ordinance.
Second.
It has been properly motioned and second that we consider this ordinance. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander.
Aye.
Counselor Collier.
Aye.
Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move the adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
It has been properly motioned and second. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander.
Aye.
Counselor Collier.
Aye.
Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Again, thank you, Mr. Lewis, for keeping the city of Bessemer informed on bonds and warrants. And we pray that there are other bonds and warrants out there that we can go ahead and move this city farther than it is right now. I thank you for understanding that there are new counselors around the table.
Absolutely.
And I thank you for answering their questions. Thank you so much and have a great day.
I'd like to say this, Council Donald, I really appreciate this opportunity to work for the city. I've been out here since 2005 and it's like family to me. It's great to see this city move itself forward, and there are other, like I said, there are other opportunities there that the city can take advantage of, and whatever I can do to make life easier for you as council members. Speaking of Crusoe and Kim and Mr. Jarvis, I mean, that's what I do. I enjoy making it simple for people who want to know about it. And if there's any time that you want to ask questions relative to this, I'll make myself available for you. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and I look forward to working with you hopefully soon.
Yes, sir, and thank you.
Have a great day now.
Thank you.
Item number 7, Ms. Taylor.
Winnie Brantley, Bessemer Housing Authority.
Ms. Brantley, is she on the line?
She's coming to the podium and they're.
Thank you
right
so
now.
much. Counselor Gregory Harris, are you on the, I'm sorry, Attorney Greg Harris, are you on the phone?
I am indeed. Can you hear me?
Thank you. I can hear you. Thank you, sir.
Madam President, I put this one on. Mrs. Brantley and Mr. Coleman will be coming to just introduce Ms. Brantley to the city of Bessemer. She comes to us from Birmingham Housing Authority. She was a community and projects manager over there. And I just want her to tell the council as a whole what her and Mr. Coleman has planned for the city of Bessemer.
Good morning, Ms. Brantley. Good morning, Mr. Coleman.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Doing well. How about you?
We're good. Give you 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. First off, to the mayor and the city council, thank you for allowing us to come and speak with you this morning. Most of you I have met. To those that I have not, my name is Courtney Coleman. I'm the executive director here at the Bessemer Housing Authority. Today, we just want to kind of, like Kim mentioned, kind of give you a little information and share with you what's going on at the Bessemer Housing Authority. So due to COVID-19, we have had to adjust how we do business at the Housing Authority. We had to create more options for our residents. A few things that we've done, past couple of months, we went out and purchased software to allow our residents to actually pay rent remote. So now they're able to pay their rent ACH, debit, and credit. They're also able to issue work orders remote. In about a month or so, they'll be able to do applications online as well. So we're moving in the direction where we probably should have been going before COVID, but that's the one thing that this actually pushed us to do is move faster. We're also looking to re-engage our residents and the community. So the first step in what we had to take was to go out and rebuild our entire resident service department. So we went out and we found the resident service manager. And as Kim mentioned, her name is Wendy Brantley. She's over here laughing at me now because her name is actually not Winnie, but Wendy. I'm sorry. And that's what's listed on the report. So that's the name I'm gonna be calling her for the rest of her stay with us is Winnie. So we'll allow Winnie to come up and kind of give you an idea of what we got going on this month.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning. Good
All right,
morning. How are you?
To the mayor and to the council, I'm so excited to be here today. Again, my name is Wendy Brantley. I am so enthusiastic about being here today and sharing with you our vision about the Birmingham Housing Authority and how we're going to engage the residents. I'm really big on and passionate about community involvement. I have grassroots here. My mom and my dad are from Bessemer, and they trained me and conditioned me to be where I am today. So I'm honored to be here and very excited. As Mr. Coleman said, we want to engage the residents and the community as a whole. And so our new initiative, and we're going to have a Delivering Hope Community Day. And so this is going to be, our mission is to deliver hope to our residents and the community that we serve, and just not our public housing, but the community as a whole. And so we have brainstormed and we planned, and this is my second week, and we have an event next Wednesday that we want everyone that's on this Zoom to participate in, where it's called Delivering Hope Community Day. We have 4 different pillars that we're going to target. That's economic empowerment, education advancement, health and wellness, character and leadership. And we have about 15 to 20 different resources that we provide that day for residents to actually come out in the community, including census and voter registration. Those are our main 2 targets as well. We know that community engagement leads to improved outcomes. And so our mission is to approach this with being effective and strengthening our communities by health of our communities. So there's a flyer that we've sent to the mayor and to, I think, the president of the council, and we would like for you all to come out that day, speak to the residents, touch them, engage them, and know that we're all one. And so we also have a marketing strategy that we'll be completing on Monday. We're going to have a parade throughout the city, throughout our communities, to get involved, let people know what we're doing. And so we would love for you all to come aboard as well. You can contact Mr. Coleman or myself if you need me to get more information about that. But we wanted to come let you know that we're really engaging the community as a whole, because our residents live inside of a community that you all service and we service as well.
Madam President.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Brantley. Yes. My question, I mean, because your video stalled for a minute.
Okay.
Do we have a date I haven't received the flyer for the Delivering Hope
October the
Community
14th,
Engagement. No, November 14th,
October
October.
14th,
October 14th.
2
and
to
the
4,
time,
2 o'clock to 4 o'clock
2 to
at
4,
Southside Homes.
Southside Homes.
Okay, and Mr. Coleman said he'll send it to everyone as well.
Sure, and the parade starts from where and what time?
1 o'clock from our central office, our main office, which is 1515 Fairfax
Mhm.
Avenue.
Okay, got I would like to commend the staff. Well, first of all, Mr. Coleman, as well as the staff, and you want to welcome you aboard. I would like to also say concerning the difference that I see with the property that I have here in District 7, that being Lanier Manor and Thompson Manor. I visited there before becoming city council. And upon being city council and visiting both of those locations, with my constituents, I see a major difference. I see a sense of ownership, a sense of happiness, a sense of belonging with the tenants in those properties. So along with how well the staff engage with those tenants, the ambiance has really changed, and I want to commend you all on a job well done, because one thing about living or being a part of something, when you set the scene and help a person to feel welcome and to feel loved, they tend to have a different feeling. I mean, it's not like you're going into a nursing home and the people feel like they've been thrown away. I mean, anytime I visit there, it's a sense of belonging, a sense of ownership, and a sense of love in the atmosphere with them. And I also want to personally thank you all for any time I call, or the city of Bessemer, when we call wanting to come out and do something to help embrace and encompass that love and atmosphere that you all have created. You have opened doors for us, and I want to thank you all for that.
We thank you. Yeah, we put a lot of work into trying to make sure that our residents have that feeling. And I can say that you guys have showed up and participated in the events that we do have going on in your particular districts. And thank you.
Madam
Mr.
President.
Coleman, yes, one moment, Councilor Alexander. Mr. Coleman, I have already cornered him coming in. And Ms. Brantley, welcome to the city of Bessemer. One thing I do like that you all did not call them projects. You all call them communities. I have 6 in my district, and I do not refer to them as projects. I refer to them as low-income communities. When you have a sense of ownership, it makes a difference. As I explained to one just yesterday, if the government can make a decent place for you to live, then you ought to be willing to pick the paper up in front of the door. Maybe it wasn't my place, but I surely said it, Mr. Coleman. I was Mr. Coleman yesterday. Thank you so much for all that you do for Bessemer. Ms. Alexander.
I just want to say the same thing. Thank you so much for everything you have done for Bessemer, Mr. Coleman. And I know along with Ms. Brantley, she has done great things in the city of Birmingham. I know she will bring that same spark and energy to Bessemer. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you again, guys. And one thing I do want to say one thing. When I got this position, the mayor did mention to me, create communities. Create communities. And I want to say, Mr. Mayor, that stuck with me, and I continue to make sure that that's our goal here at the Housing Authority.
That's right. That's right.
Courtney, I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you've been doing and stuff over there. And you can look forward and stuff to my support at any time going forward.
Thank you, guys.
I look forward to great things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Item number 8, Ms. Taylor.
Item 8, August 4th, 2020, weed nuisance status report. This is a hearing.
Ms. Hall, are you on the line?
Good morning, everyone. I am.
Good morning, Ms. Hall. How are you?
I'm well, yourself. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Councilors, this is a hearing for the weed nuisance status report. Ms. Hall, go ahead.
Okay, on the weed news report, August the 4th, 2020, the properties that are deemed no action or incomplete, I would like to request that those properties be voted on to be cut. The properties that are deemed cut by owner, I would like to request those properties be abated.
Madam President,
Yes, ma'am.
does anyone have a list? I mean, I don't see my list of those properties.
You should have a list on your email that came to you on yesterday.
It's on an email.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I just
Yes, ma'am.
thank Ms. Hall for getting them to us a day ahead of time. Normally we have them the same day so that we can have an updated list, but for us to be able to look at the list, appreciate you sending all these a day ahead of time. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, you're welcome.
I actually have a list in my packet, you all.
Madam President, this is Shan. Would you like me to ask if there's anyone in here that is here for a weed nuisance hearing?
Yes, sir, I would. I think I saw one person that was there that had received a letter.
Yes. If you will come to the podium and state your name and address, you'll be able to address the council on the, and give the address that you're requesting.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Melissa Johnson, my address is 319 Ash Avenue, West Bessemer.
That's 319 Ash Avenue.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. Did you receive a letter, Ms. Johnson?
I did.
And that letter is for?
A notice of weed ordinance violation. It's dated September the 4th.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
on the August 18th report, and it is number 40. Let's say
Okay.
cut by owner, so that one will be abated.
It has been cut by owner.
Yes, ma'am. According to the
Thank
report.
you.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson, according to the report that we have received on yesterday, which have updated information on it, you have already cut that property.
Right, it was
And
cut on, it was cut on September the 11th.
Yes, ma'am, and we have the updated information here, and it does show that you have cut that property.
Okay.
Thank you. I do apologize for you having to come this morning, but it was good meeting you. It was good seeing you.
Okay, thank you.
And you're more than welcome to come to council meeting at any time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Counselors, Attorney Payton, is there anyone else over?
No, ma'am, there are no other people here for the weed nuisance hearings.
Council, you've heard that nuisance. I need a motion and a second, please.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I move that on the August 4th report, all items deemed cut by owner be abated. All those with no action or incomplete be cut.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All properties that states cut by owner be abated and no action be cut. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander. Counselor Collier.
Aye.
Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Ms. Hall, item, I'm sorry, 2500 Fairfax Avenue. we placed that to be cut in the month of March. It has not been cut as of today. Do we know the status of that?
No, ma'am, I do not have the information before me, but I can definitely check on it if it's okay with Mayor Gully.
Yes, ma'am, if it's okay with the mayor. Ms. Hall, please check on that because I don't like snakes, and we've killed 4 that came from over there already. And I'm tired of paying $200 to cut that lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 9.
August 18, 2020, weed nuisance status report. This is the hearing.
Attorney Payton, is there anyone over there?
No, ma'am, there's no one here on that hearing, August 18th.
Ooh. Counselors?
Madam
I'd
Chair.
like to ask a question concerning, well, I'll wait till I get a motion.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Chair, on the August 18th weed nuisance report, I move that all items cut by owner be abated, all no action or incomplete be cut.
Second.
Has been properly moved and second.
Discussion. I'm trying
Councilor
to.
Matthew, do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to understand 1922 Long 14th Street and 19. Are these the rear little portion of these properties, 1922 and 1924, that butts McNeil Park?
Yes, sir, they are. I think on one of those, a structure burned.
Yes,
I think maybe last year.
1922, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1922 is where the structure burned, and 1924, which is in between, I guess, 1922 and 1928, Glenda Bates and David Somerville. So I was just wondering were all 3 of these are the rear portion of these properties, lots?
Okay, well, 1928 Long 14, that's the property that's adjacent to the church that sits right there on the corner.
Yeah, right next to the church, right?
Right, so
Yeah,
that
but
entire
my-
property, the rear, I'm sorry.
Ma'am, it's hard to hear you. That's why I keep say that again.
Okay, at 1928 Long 14th, it's the rear and the front portion of that structure or property that's overgrown. And then 1924 and 1922, those properties are overgrown. I know that you mentioned that on 1922, there's where the structure burned, but those properties are overgrown as well.
Okay, and that where, okay, all right. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one more question. Ms. Hall, with the permission of Mayor Gully, can you give me an update? I reported back been some months ago, around in May, a little before May, concerning the property, the lot behind 206 10th Court South. It was believed that the property that I reported was like 206 9th Court. Can you, with the permission of the mayor, check on the status of that as well for me, please?
Actually, Council Fuso, on the report listed for August the 4th, 2020, which was item number 8, number 68, as well as number 69, those properties are in the area.
Number 68 and 69?
Yes, ma'am, on August the 4th, 2020.
August the 4th. Is August the 14th?
No, ma'am, August the 4th.
Okay, I'll check on them. Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Hall.
Yes, ma'am, you're welcome.
Thanks, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. It has been properly moved and second. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander. Counselor Alexander. Counselor Collier.
Aye.
Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item number 10, Ms. Taylor.
Granted extensions, list attached.
Councilors, you have in your packet granted extension 429 Owens Avenue. Is that you, Councilor? It states that it has been cut by owner. Is that correct, Ms. Hall?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Councilors, do you have any more questions and or concerns on your granted extension list?
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that 429, that was Mr. Parsons, wasn't it?
Yes,
Was
ma'am.
the young man that came in.
Yes, ma'am. I think it may have been the meeting before last.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Excuse me. Yes, ma'am. I apologize. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I went down and checked on that myself. And you know, and yeah, he had moved forth as far as in taking care of that.
Councilors, any more questions and or concerns? I need a motion and a second, please.
Madam Chair, I move the item.
Yes, sir. I need a second, please. I need a second, please.
Second.
It's been properly motioned and second that we accept the granted extension on property number 429 Owens Avenue. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander.
Aye.
Counselor Collier.
Aye.
Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item number 11, Ms. Taylor.
Report of costs list attached.
Councilors, you have a report of cost in your packets. Are there any questions and or concerns? Ms. Hall. Ms. Hall?
Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
That's okay. 808 28th Terrace South.
Yes, ma'am.
We did get someone at that property.
Yes, ma'am. It's actually number 55 on the report of costs. It was cut by a private contractor.
From the city or from the heirs?
From the city of Bessemer.
Because I've been looking for someone for that property. Thank you, Ms. Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
Council, any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I need a motion in a second, please.
I move the item.
Second.
Thank you. Has been properly moved and second that we accept the report of cost. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander.
Aye.
Counselor Collier.
Aye.
Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item number 25, we have this young lady in the council chambers. Number 25, Ms. Taylor.
Yes, ma'am. This is a liquor license and it is no Side Package and Convenience Store LLC, 011 Lounge Retail Liquor Class 2 package.
Attorney Payton.
Yes, ma'am. She is at the podium now. If you will state your name and address and.
She is muted. She's muted. Okay, she's unmuted now. Okay.
Paula Hudson, 2330 9th Avenue North, Bessemer.
Good morning, Ms. Hudson.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor and councils. We are here to ask for permission, I guess, for a license for a package store. We would create jobs in the neighborhood. I'm new to this, so, but that's what's going on.
Madam President.
Yes, ma'am. Councilor Alexander.
Ms. Hudson, y'all also own the Shell's gas station as well on 9th Avenue?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Hudson, just one question for you. There's a child care facility directly next door.
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone consult that facility?
Yes, ma'am. I did speak with her. She said that she didn't mind. She would love for someone to have it because she was trying to figure out what was going on with it. She said it was her childhood store, that she used to walk to that store to get her grandmother cigarettes, and she wouldn't mind.
Madam Chair.
Councilor Crusoe.
Not only as far as with the child care facility next door, given that I remember it being a store where alcohol has been issued in the past, but there was a beauty school at that time. Given that we do have a daycare, in close proximity to this location, have we gone through the community to make sure there's no rebuttal as far as in the community with authorizing or approving or making sure we didn't have anybody in opposition in around the package store?
Are you
that
asking?
would be for Chief.
I mean, I'm just. Has that been done?
You asking me that, ma'am?
I guess what the mayor or the chief, that would be their position to do that. That's my question concerning that.
Councilor Crusoe, Madam President.
Yes, sir.
A survey of the community has been done. There's no provision in the law in stuff that says that we can't open up an off-premises package store next and stuff to a daycare. But yes, the answer to your question is that it has a survey has been done of the community.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And also, Ms. Hudson, you said it'll create jobs. I mean, approximately how many jobs are we speaking in terms of?
Well, I'm gonna need at least 5 people.
Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's in the beginning. It may, after that, it picks up, I will have to have more help.
Yes, ma'am. Will this actually be a gas station as well? I know it had pumps.
Yes, ma'am. It would be a gas station convenient package. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the information.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is item 25, correct?
This is item 25. It is correct. Item 25. And the reason I took the executive privilege is because Miss Hudson has been sitting there, and she will be sitting there for a minute until we get through this. I would rather have Miss Hudson to go ahead and state her case and to get back to remodeling that business. Council, you've heard Miss Hudson. Are there any more questions and or concerns?
Just want to say thank you for opening the business back up and along with Ms. Mitchell, I do know the daycare owner, Redrica Mitchell. We both stayed in the same community. And we did walk to that store a lot from school. So thank you.
Thank you.
Counselors, you have heard Ms. Hudson. I need a motion. And
Madam
second.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move the item.
May I have a second? It has been properly moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander. Counselor Carter.
Aye.
Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Nay.
6 ayes, 1 nay. The motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Hudson, and congratulations. Have
Thank
a
you,
great day.
guys. Have a pleasant day.
Item number 12, Ms. Taylor.
Status on Alabama Municipal Insurance Corporation.
Madam Chair.
Counselor Alexander.
I put that on there. As you know, as the council body know, we did have a meeting twice, 2 committee meetings that consist of me, myself as the chair, Councilor Donald and Councilor Matthews. We did come back to the council body and ask that we have Ms. Holt come for additional questions. And she did come and she did answer our questions. The council is coming back to the council body to recommend that we put out an RFP for a new agent of record. This is the year of the change. As you know, we have changed healthcare providers from Blue Cross Blue Shield to Viva Health. We also are looking into changing janitorial service as well. As far as the auditors, Lori Kess, we're now using her in the financial office. She's no longer an auditor with us. She will be helping Ms. Pryor. And that's the committee's recommendation that we put out an RFP for a record of agent, a new record of agent for Amy.
Counselor Alexander. The committee's recommendation has been noted, and we will discuss that on, I'll ask this body to discuss this recommendation at our session on next week.
Thank you.
Counselors, do you have any questions and or concerns concerning discussing an RFP for a new agent of record? We can discuss it on next week. Item number 13, Ms. Taylor.
Status of quarterly report for community development block grant.
We did receive that. That goes on discussion for next week. I think I did make mention of that the last meeting that we have. It will be on discussion for our session on next week. Item number 14, please.
Status of report for small sales ordinances.
I think Councilor Matthews has already given us that status in saying that Attorney Harris and Attorney Payton will meet with Mr. Blankenship and the committee will meet once again. Is that correct, Councilor Matthews?
That is correct.
Thank you, sir. Item number 15, please.
Status regarding COVID-19 receipts.
Madam Chair, I put that on there. As you know, we were given a spreadsheet of numbers stating that what the city used for supplies. I have emailed Mr. Norris and CC the mayor as well as you, Madam Chair, about these receipts. This is the 3rd time I have asked for these receipts. So I placed it on the agenda because I'm trying to see why is it so hard to even get the copy of the credit card or the actual receipts and not a spreadsheet, because I was questioning costs for January that was $1,500 and also February, that was $1,500. We didn't go into COVID. We didn't lock the city down to COVID until March. So I
Yes,
wanted to
ma'am.
make sure all these receipts were accurate.
Yes, ma'am. Counselor Alexander, you did send me a email requesting the receipts, but unfortunately, I'm not the one to get them to you. In turn, I did ask you to email the mayor, and he will in turn email Lori and or Keela. So I think that would be a question for Mayor Gully to answer instead of Counselor Donovan.
Madam
Mayor Gully?
President,
Yes, sir.
We are pulling together at this particular time all of the information that we will be submitting to the county for reimbursement. This is the appropriate way and stuff to do it. I have no problem providing and stuff receipts, but I've turned over all those receipts to build what we need to submit and stuff to the county, to our attorney's office right now. And when we have all of that information, I have no problem giving you all a copy of it. But I will make a note and stuff of this. A request to terrain or a request and stuff to myself concerning an item that has not been discussed by your council body, I will not honor that. I work for the citizens of this city. I don't work for particular council members one by one. So if there's something and stuff that needs to be requested, bring it to the council body. We'll sit and discuss it, and I will provide it. But as for the receipts, as soon as we are finished gathering that information, we will make it available to the council. Now, Attorney Payton, if you're on the line, you may want to speak a little bit in detail as to where you are and getting that information ready.
Yeah. Council, the Jefferson County Commission allotted $1,163,296 to the city under the sub-grant that you passed, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. At that time, you approved the purchase of defibrillators for the fire department and police department. The county has that request in. That will be part of a large purchase for several municipalities, and that totals $274,161.18. We are gathering receipts from and expenses from all of the departments in the city to put on a form to submit to Jefferson County. There are 7 categories of items that you can file what is called a short form request to the county. That is for personal protective equipment, cleaning, sanitation, medical, telework expenses, workplace safety preparation, training, and payroll. Ellen has created this spreadsheet and placed it in 7 different categories. We have gone to all of the departments and requested that they submit their information to us in that form. We have, I think, received everything except for the golf course, and I'm not sure. We may have received the cemeteries yesterday. Mr. Pierce brought a large stack over to us yesterday to review, but we are preparing that to submit. Right now, what we have totaled from the various departments to be submitted to Jefferson County is $183,553.15. I'm sorry, with no payroll. In addition to that, Ms. Kess's work with the finance department is around $40,000, and that will be submitted to the county as part of that. That gets it down to an allotment left of $665,000 approximately. We received expenses used by Bessemer Water and Bessemer Electric of approximately $60,000. So that would leave about $600,000 of the $1,163,296 that we could get back from the county out of that fund. There has been some conflicting guidance on payroll expenses and what we can receive there. The original guidance that came out from the Treasury Department said that payroll expenses were not allowable if they were included in a budget that was passed prior to March 27th of 2020. On September the 2nd of this month, the Treasury came back out and said that they are going to be more liberal with that, and that you could submit payroll expenses for first responders that were in the field. I have talked with Mr. Patelis's office at Jefferson County regarding the payroll expenses and whether we can receive that, since it seems contrary to what the earlier guidance was. Mr. Justin Smith in that office advised me that the Office of Inspector General has come out with a report saying that those payroll expenses were recoverable. I want to look at that to determine whether we should submit the payroll expense request on behalf of the city. My hope is that we can meet as much of the expense under the 7 items that I went over with you, because there's no question that those are covered under the Act. The last day to submit, I received this yesterday. The request is November the 13th. So we anticipate wrapping this up within the next couple of weeks. And when we do, we will send that to the council.
Madam Chair.
Councilor Alexander, let me ask you one question, please. Were you speaking of just one receipt from the expenditure in January, or were you speaking of all of the expense?
I was speaking of all the expenses that were on the spreadsheet. A spreadsheet was placed in our packets and they were placed in front of us for us to vote on. And if we can't get the receipts, just like Mayor Gully said, I work for the citizens as well, not for just the mayor's office. I work for the citizens, and we came in to be transparent. So let's do that. Let's be transparent with the citizens. I've been asking for these receipts for what, 3 months now almost? And it's always something. It's always something when I ask for these receipts. I ask for either the receipt or the credit card statement, what these supplies were bought on. Also, I ask, do the city employees, as far as the city workers and the police department, our first responders, are they eligible to get overtime pay, hazard pay? And that was stated no. These are things that the citizens and the employees are coming asking us. This is nothing that I'm making up in my head. This is no retaliation or attack against the mayor. These are questions that we are asked on a daily basis.
Madam Chair.
Madam President.
Yes, sir. Councilor Matthews. One moment, Mayor Gully. Councilor Matthews.
Well, and I do recall some of what's going on, and I don't have an audience or anything around me, but I can say that I'm a true resident of the city of Bessemer. Okay, 600 Flint Hill Road, no question there, and I think that's a fair. With all due respect, Mayor, you did say a few weeks ago to give you the courtesy, not on a Thursday or a Friday, right before council meeting. And if Councilor, and I ain't trying to be on nobody's side, okay? But if Councilor Alexander asks you about a receipt, say that again.
Sure you are.
Well, what you can call it what you want, bro.
Well, you can call it what you want to.
Yeah, you
and it don't matter to me
either, because you don't all that you talking and all
Go
that
ahead,
Matthews.
Mr. Singleton.
It don't move me. So I'm
And
good with
and
that.
what you say don't move
I'm
me
not.
either.
I don't care.
Mr.
Look,
Singleton.
man,
Mute both
I'm
mics, please.
trying to get some clarity here.
And I've already
When you
explained
ask
that.
when you ask somebody to give you courtesy, why can't you give them courtesy as well? Like I said, when you ask somebody to give you courtesy, you can give them the courtesy as well.
Mr. Singleton, unmute Counselor Matthews, please. I can't hear him.
Hit unmute. Somebody keep muting. Is that
Okay, you're unmuted now, Counselor.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying, if it's fair for us to ask send a request in a month ago, 2 weeks ago, it should be, I know you don't work for a certain individual council member. Now, if we got to vote on everything, every request, then we need to make that a rule to vote on every request or something. But if somebody asks a request for a piece of document, you don't have to be harsh with them. Just say we compiling it and we'll get it to you. But all this about, I don't work for a council member, I don't even know if that was even in the equation about working for a council member. I think she was just asking about a document we got and about the first of the year before COVID even hit. It was before COVID hit, and she's saying that she just wanted to see what it was for. But if it was before COVID hit, then just provide her with the information she's asking for. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with the request. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, if somebody can say what's wrong with the request, then say it. But just to bulldoze over somebody, that's not in my opinion may not count, but I don't think that's the right approach to do nobody.
Madam President, Councilor Matthews.
Yes, sir.
I said, if you were listening, that I had no problem in providing, and so that you all passed a resolution giving the administration up to $50,000 to handle COVID-related issues back in March. You asked and stuff for an update and stuff of that. I gave you that via a spreadsheet. If at that time a spreadsheet was not adequate and stuff for you, then you should and stuff have said that at that particular time. Once I've turned over all of the receipts, as I stated, and so to the attorney to prepare to submit to Jefferson County, I don't have it in my possession at that particular time. But when I do get it back in my possession, then I would be more than happy to provide that. Now, that's what I said. Now, I don't know what all of this other things that you're talking about is coming from, but just like, and so both of us and so are grown men, you handle things the way you want to handle them, and I handle them the way I want to handle them. And so, but no, I don't. Because at all of individual requests that comes to this office, you've been on this council 22 years. You know that that's not the way that has been done. And so since you've been on this council, we discuss things via the council body. If there is a legitimate legal request of me, I make that available. Now, all this other stuff that you're talking about, I don't even know, and I don't even care, because that's not true. Now, I've made whatever available to you that the council
One
body.
moment, Councilor Matthews, let him finish.
I didn't say nothing.
Well, I mean, I've made available, but when it comes to AMI, I did 1,500 sheets and stuff, box of paper that I made and stuff available and stuff to you all. And for someone to sit here and try to play a game to the general public that I'm holding information back and stuff from you, it's a lie. And there ain't no other way and stuff to tell it. When I got the information, I provided. When this body discussed it, I provided and stuff to council. If it's legal, if it's a legitimate request. Now, I ain't got time and stuff for all of that.
Madam Chair,
Madam Chair,
I did question that when the spreadsheet was presented to us. I questioned that. And Councilor Crusoe questioned that. Do you recall that, Councilor Crusoe?
You are correct.
Sure you do.
You absolutely correct, I do. Madam Chair.
Counselor Matthews, are you finished?
No, I wasn't. I only thing I said was talking about when the mayor just stated that he don't work for individual council person, he worked for the citizens of Bessemer. Well, I said I'm a citizen of Bessemer, and I hope everybody, and I'm a full-time citizen of Bessemer, okay? Let me just stick a pin in that. I've said that if that was harsh saying that you don't work for a council member, you work for all the citizens of Bessemer, and you're not gonna do, you would like the courtesy of having that the request in way before a council meeting. That was said a few meetings ago. And if this request have been, if this about the third request in the past few months, then that's really overdue, you know. And now if we want to put it on planning session and talk about it, that's fine. But just to say that I'm not gonna give it to you, individual council member, I don't see where that's a problem, you know, from the previous statement. That's what I'm talking about. The previous statement is saying that you don't work for one individual council member. Well, how can we get a request then? Are we gonna have to vote on a request? That's all I was mentioning.
Thank you, Councilor Matthews. Counselor
Councilor
Crusoe.
I never said that I would not give.
Counselor Crusoe.
I
Counselor
never said that I
Crusoe.
would not provide.
Counselor Matthews, please. Mayor Gully, Counselor Crusoe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Regarding the request of the spreadsheet that was presented to us, it was stated at the time that we received it that we wanted more documentation regarding that spreadsheet. Not only as far as with the spreadsheet concerning the expenses of COVID, there are other requests that we've made to the mayor asking for more in-depth information that has yet to be provided. And I think, I know for certain, you know, with the council body being over the finances here in the city of Bessemer, I think that was a bit, you know, out of order as far as in saying that, you know, I mean, that you came back and corrected it as far as in that, you know, once you get the information back from the attorney. But it's our duty. It's our duty, and to be accountable as for the finances here in the city of Bessemer, and that wasn't an unreasonable request as far as in asking for more documentation concerning that. And you know, so now here we are. You know, you said once you get the receipts back from the attorney, but I mean, I think the request was made before the receipts were presented before to the attorney. But again, here we are, you know, with the word game from give me your request in a more timely manner. Again, like Councilor Matthew has said, you know, this request was made several months ago. You know, it's not like we made this request yesterday or we threw something on the agenda. This request has been made months ago, Mayor Gully, in all fairness and being transparent and being honest. Hear it before the council and before you. Now that's the truth. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, councilors. Thank you, Mayor Gully. I must say this as being the president of this body. We have asked for different documents and we are not able to get them unless we fill out paperwork to get them. And then when we fill out the paperwork to get them, I know for myself, it has been 30 days for one document that I asked for, and I called and I was asked, I wanted to know what it was for. anytime that I have a question or I question something on the agenda, I immediately go where we're supposed to go, and that is to the city clerk's office. Now, as far as Counselor Alexander asking for different documents, I can understand why she needs them. If we said COVID, we want to look at COVID. And I would say a good auditor or anyone in finance would not send their only copy to anywhere. I would say there should be, if there's not, there should have been copies made of everything that was given and or put on the computer, of everything that was given to any entity having to do with the city of Bessemer's finance. If we know that we're not going to get it back in a timely manner, and I don't think it's so much of getting it back in a timely manner. It's the way we say things. It's the way we tell a person that we had no intentions of doing it in the beginning. It's the way that we say it, you all. I tried, when I first came on this council, this body here, everyone was here except Crusoe, Alexander, and Collier. I had to learn the hard way. It's the way we say things to people. It's the way that we tell them, I'm not going to do this. That's not appropriate for us to be a mayor and a council form of government. That's not appropriate. It's not. It's not appropriate. If I'm not going to answer you or give it to you, send it back to me, email, I will not, or send it to me. I have sent it out. I do apologize. I don't have any copies. We didn't keep any copies. But if you would allow me and allow it to come back, or allow Attorney Payton to get it back, I will most certainly get it to you. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing whatsoever. Mayor Gully, we're looking forward to getting those that paperwork as soon as it gets back. And it has been put on a spreadsheet. We're looking forward to getting that. And we're looking forward to sitting down and or answering questions to that nature. Item number 16, Ms. Taylor.
President, that's
Yes,
exactly
sir.
what I said before all of this started, if you recall. For the record, that's exactly what I said before.
It may be what you said, Mayor Gully, but it's how you say what it is that you say, Mayor Gully. That's what I'm saying. It's how you say it. If you were sitting on this end and to see what I just saw, I'm just saying, Mayor Gully, and I'm saying to each and every counselor, it's not what we say, because sometimes we have very valid points. It's how we say what we say. And I would ask us to be mindful of how we speak to one another. Because if you can't speak to me and I'm sitting right here with you, God knows I wouldn't want you to talk to me and ask me to vote for you. I truly wouldn't. Item number 16, Ms. Taylor.
October 6, 2020, weed nuisance report, set hearing date.
Ms. Howell, I am so sorry. I did tell you I was going the last time we met, that I was going to put everything together for you. Councilors, you have that in your packet, your weed nuisance in your packet. Is there any concerns, questions for Ms. Howell?
Madam President?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on this particular item, I did not include it because I didn't receive it from Jefferson County in time. So I would
Yes,
like
ma'am.
to request that it be removed until October the 20th.
Yes,
please.
ma'am. You want to table this item until October 20th?
Yes, ma'am, please.
I need a motion and a second, please, to table this item until October the 2nd, the 20th.
I motion that we move the weed nuisance of October the 6th to October 20th as Ms. Hall has requested.
Second.
It has been moved and second that we will move this week nuisance to October the 20th. Ms. Taylor, roll call, please.
Counselor Alexander,
Aye.
Counselor Collier,
Aye.
Counselor Marshall,
Aye.
Counselor Matthews,
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen, Counselor Thigpen.
She's mute. Okay, she's unmuted now.
Okay. Counselor Crusoe,
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Hall.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 17, please.
Reconsideration of library appointee.
Attorney Harris, are you on the line?
I am.
Attorney Harris.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Item number 17, please.
Okay, item number 17. With the previous appointee for the library board, it was brought to my attention as far as in with the voting, we had a conflict of interest. And I would like to bring this back before the council as far as in a reappointment for our appointee for the library board. We just want to remain ethical on in all barriers concerning our appointments.
Attorney
Madam
Harris,
Chair,
do you want to speak to that?
So, Councilor,
One moment, Counselor Marshall. Attorney Harris, do you want to speak to that?
I just want to ask the council, I believe what she's saying is you'd like to reconsider the action taken at the last meeting in regards to that, to the appointment to the library. Is that what you?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. And are you, just to ask you, did you on the last occasion, did you vote in favor of that matter?
I did.
Okay, because a person who voted in favor of a matter may move for a motion to reconsider the item.
Counselors, I need a motion. Counselor, I need a motion and a second.
Council
And we
President.
will-
Council President, this is Shan. Could I ask
Yes.
a question before y'all go
You
down this
can.
road?
You can.
Greg, my concern is once someone has been appointed to a board or a committee, my understanding is the only way to remove them from that position would be through impeachment. Have you researched this to see if there's been any other case in state law where a person has been removed by a vote of reconsideration?
Let me say this, she never took the seat.
That's my understanding, that the person's never been seated on the board.
But I mean, you've looked at that issue.
I have not found anything that says that you can't reconsider the appointment. It was a matter taken last meeting, and I haven't found anything that says you cannot reconsider that vote, especially when the person has not taken the seat.
Counselors, I need a motion and a second, and we will take this up.
Madam Chair, I think we need some more research on this. I mean,
If you just wait and listen, Counselor Marshall, I was going to say, I think we can take this up at planning session on next week, if that's okay with this body. And that'll give the attorneys a chance to do more research on this. I need a motion and a second, please.
A motion now.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I'm kind of lost. First, we hear and I'm lost, and I guess the reason why, because first I hear Attorney Harris saying that he has not seen anything. Then Attorney Payton said what he said. Well, first of all, I think Councilor Crusoe made a motion. Am I right or wrong? Did you make a motion?
That is correct.
Okay, if she made a motion and then y'all, that was the discussion prior to the second, which I think just a few minutes ago, a few items ago, I did the discussion after the second. But notwithstanding that, one attorney asked a question, the other one said no, and then some more research. I guess I'll ask Attorney Harris, since he did say that he hadn't seen it. What's your finding on your research that you did in order for us to put it on the agenda?
Well, I look for things in the nature that raised by Mr. Payton. I didn't see anything contrary to the notion that this matter can be, a matter brought up at the next meeting of the council meeting can be reconsidered in general. Okay, and this is the next meeting following that one. And I guess to join the issue, it's probably possible or probably best that the county go through the city go through the reconsideration, and if there are any issues legal, we research those following that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that be the case, I'll second.
So moved.
Ma'am.
So we'll go forth with the motion.
Yes.
And the second.
Yeah. Well, so you did make a motion. That's all.
I did make a motion.
Okay. Well, I like to second that motion, since I did vote as well last time we voted for it.
Yes, sir.
And the only time we voted.
It has been properly motioned and seconded that we will reconsider the appointment to the library board.
Madam,
And pick it up.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Thigpen. Councilor Thigpen.
I just want more information. I don't know if we have to go into executive session, but to say that there was a conflict of interest in the voting, just curious, what's the reasoning behind it? Why are we reconsidering the motion?
Councilor Harris, Attorney Harris.
Madam Chair.
One moment, Attorney Harris.
I think that would be probably addressed by the person who made the motion. I didn't make the motion.
Councilor Crusoe.
Maybe we need to go into an executive session with me concerning it. Maybe briefly, it was I guess I can. Well, like I said, a conflict of interest as far as in one of the people voting had a close relations with the appointment. So we want to remain ethical as far as in the voting process. If that's clear enough for you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir, Councilor Marshall.
That was the point I was trying to get to also. We need more information.
And that is the point I'm trying to get to. We'll pick this up either in our meeting on next week, and we can go into executive session. That is up to this body. But I would rather we pick it up next week and go into executive session.
Well, is the body going to take a vote on the matter? Does that take a vote on the matter and let all of these issues be researched and reported back but you would have actually moved, take whatever action you're going to take at this meeting?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wanda.
Okay, it has been properly moved and second that we will take the reconsideration of the library appointment, and we'll take it up at the next meeting, either in executive session or planning session. Ms. Taylor, roll call, please.
I don't.
That's not what we're voting on.
That's not the motion.
That's not the motion.
What was the motion,
Right.
Councilor Crusoe?
To reconsider.
You would have to
reconsider the library appointment.
Right. That was the motion, to reconsider the library appointment, and we're going to take it up at planning session and or executive session. That was the motion.
Chair. Madam
Yes,
Chair.
sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
That was Councilor Crusoe's motion, but I think to do it properly, if we're going to take it up later to discuss, perhaps Councilor Crusoe would withdraw her motion, and the second can be withdrawn, and then we can decide that we'll take it up in our planning session.
Well,
Otherwise,
why don't I withdraw?
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
It is my understanding, looking at motions to reconsider, that the motion is proper when it comes up at the next opportunity.
Yes.
And so to extend it to some other time might make this motion untimely.
That's right.
That's why I say.
You are right. Yeah.
I was right, and I have researched it. I'll say it has been moved and properly second that we will reconsider the appointment of the library board. Ms. Taylor.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Alexander.
Aye.
Counselor Collier.
Madam Chair,
There's something wrong with this.
I'm trying. There's something's not right.
It's not right.
If I may, now if we're voting to say we're gonna reconsider, following a reconsider, then nominations be made, and you have to go through the process. But if everybody agrees to talk about this at the planning session, then we need to withdraw the motion and the second, and then we'll be back to square one. But to go forward and reconsider, the next step is a nomination.
Yes.
Am I right?
You're absolutely right. So let me ask this body. Let me say this to this body. Would you all like to reconsider or today or carry it over so that the two attorneys may research more?
What we need to do is withdraw the motion and the second, and then we'll be back at square one.
I mean, didn't I say that?
You said that.
I'm just echoing.
I'm with you.
I'm just echoing.
One moment, please, Marshall and Matthews. One moment, please. We can all talk together.
Yes. Madam Chair. Okay, as far as in withdrawing the motion and the second, my concern is on the legal ramifications that Attorney Harris just explained, as far as in staying within the time frame of reconsideration.
Right.
Now, can you speak to that, Attorney Harris, please?
Yes, what I was saying was, as I understand the rule, is that the motion of reconsideration can be made at the next opportunity. This is that opportunity, I believe.
Okay, so if we withdraw the motion and
that a meeting that bringing us up at a different time, we may
that's going
have
beyond
gotten past it.
the next opportunity, isn't it?
That's certainly arguable.
One moment, I did not hear you, Councilor Crusoe.
My question was, I mean, I understand Councilor Marshall, Councilor Matthew, and I guess the Hickman's point on as far as in withdrawing the motion and the second to be back at square one. Right. What my concern is with the legal, with the information that's been provided to us concerning by Attorney Harris, that a reconsideration has to take place within the next opportunity, which is today. Right. Now, if we go beyond making the motion of reconsideration on today, then where are we as far as in on reconsidering an appointment for the library? Can anyone speak to that, council?
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
I think a big part of the problem is we don't have any clarity as to why we're reconsidering some details.
Okay.
We don't have any details.
Okay, would it be for me to say that we can table 17, Attorney Harris, can we table 17 and place it on the planning session?
Well, my issue with that is if it comes up at a different time, or we missed the next opportunity.
Well, let me ask
first opportunity to consider it.
Okay.
Can we not?
One moment, Councilor Matthews.
If I withdraw my motion and Councilor Matthew withdraw his second, is it in a way we can enter into executive session today to discuss this? Given that this is still our next opportunity, it won't be long at all.
just so long as you're not moving past a vote today, and the matters that you're going to discuss in executive session are permissible, so to be discussed. That's the only issue I would have with that.
Okay.
Not knowing in advance what we're going to discuss. Okay.
Okay, would that be the pleasure of the council?
Well, can I ask one question now?
Yes, sir, you can ask one question.
Okay, can we not adjourn this meeting and take it up? And we'll still be in this meeting.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay.
Attorney Harris?
That sounds like it's likely. Yeah, without really having that before me at this moment, it would be the same meeting.
It will be the same meeting.
It would be the same meeting, arguably.
Do we want to,
Okay,
does this
Madam
body
Chair.
want to, does this body want to adjourn now or at the end of
No,
the,
Well, at the end, but
At the
let me-
end.
do I need to, let me go ahead and withdraw my my motion. Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to withdraw my motion of reconsideration of the library appointee.
I will withdraw my second.
Why don't you leave them? I don't know. Maybe you guys want to leave them both pending. Those matters pending till next till this meeting is reconvened.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that the consensus of this council to leave the motion and the second pending until we adjourn and go into executive session and we come back to this meeting? Is that the consensus of this council?
Well, just until you reconvene, not irrespective
I said
of
reconvene.
Yes, ma'am. No, I just mean irrespective of the special session, because I don't executive
Thank
session,
you.
because I'm not certain of what that is until we even talk about it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Is that the consensus of this council?
Consent.
Item number 18, Ms. Taylor.
Bessemer Chambers of Commerce requesting a one-day waiver to use the meeting room to hold their silent auction.
Councilors, we see what we have before us. Is there any questions and or concerns? One, where is this? Oh, the golf course. Councilors, are there any questions and or concerns?
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I read the paperwork that's was presented to us for the auction. I mean, I remember in the past, one of the concerns with us opening up a facility for an event. I mean, are we clear from Council Marshall in the past? Are we clear on it not being any type of liability on the city by making this permissible or granting this?
Either attorney, Payton or Harris.
So I missed a letter.
This is Shan. I mean, it's an excellent question on whether there's liability. This is the first time we've been through a pandemic, so I don't know that there's, I think you would need to make sure that the golf course followed CDC guidelines about safe distancing and people wearing masks when they went in and limiting the number of people in the area. I think if you did that and followed the CDC guidelines on that, I think you would be fine.
Not a problem at all. I just wanted to make sure we have it for the record.
Excellent
Yes,
question.
Any other questions and or concerns? If not, I need a motion and a second, please.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I motion that we allow the Chamber of Commerce to open up the golf course for their silent auction.
Second.
Has been properly moved in second that we allow the Bessemer Chambers of Commerce to have a silent auction there at the golf course. Ms. Taylor.
Councilor Alexander. Councilor Alexander, roll call. Councilor Collier.
Aye.
Councilor Marshall.
Aye.
Councilor Matthews.
Aye.
Councilor Thigpen.
Aye.
Councilor Crusoe.
Aye.
Councilor Donald.
Aye.
Councilor Alexander.
Can you not hear me?
No, I can't. I hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Aye. Okay, you vote aye.
Yes, ma'am. I always mute my mic. I don't want no interaction. So yes, ma'am, aye.
Okay, 7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item number 19, please.
A resolution requiring that the expenditures of funds provided to the city of Bessemer through the CDBG program be presented to and approved by the city council of the city of Bessemer.
Counselors, I had that placed on, but I would ask you all, let us discuss that in planning session on next week, please. Is that the consensus of the council?
Madam Chair, I think that is appropriate.
Thank you. Item number 20, Ms. Taylor.
An ordinance amending the city code of the city of Bessemer to provide for the humane tethering of dogs in the city of Bessemer.
Finally, Councilor Thigpen.
Yes, Madam Chair. Attorney Harris prepared this based on Birmingham's ordinance. I would ask, give us one more time before we this to fill in some information. I'm told that there's some definitions that need to be tweaked to be in accordance with the city's definitions.
Yes.
Just a few things. I think there's some ordinances that we need to fill in.
Okay, we'll
one more time, and we can discuss this next week if y'all want to. If
we
y'all
can discuss it next week.
Okay, let's move this to next week then.
Thank you, ma'am.
This one.
But we are on the right road.
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Item number 21.
Resolution authorizing payment to EEFS Company PC for July 2020 invoices.
Counselors, you see what we have in front of us. Do we have any questions and or concerns?
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Trying to be clear on this, this amount of $36,791.41 is for the month of, can somebody provide that again?
July.
The month of July.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
you ready to entertain a motion?
Yes, sir.
I move the item.
Need a second, please.
Second.
Has been properly moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Councilor Alexander. Councilor Alexander.
Aye.
Councilor Collier.
Aye.
Councilor Marshall.
Aye.
Councilor Matthews.
Aye.
Councilor Thigpen.
Aye.
Councilor Crusoe.
Aye.
Councilor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you. Ms. Taylor, item number 22, please.
Resolution to amend the countywide citizens participation plan as adopted on September 15, 2015.
Ms. Taylor,
Yes.
did we get a copy of that 2015 plan, or was that it in our packet with the highlighted amendments? Is that what that was?
I have it in my packet.
That's with the highlighted amendments. Is what we're asking to amend.
No, ma'am, it's not highlighted.
Okay. Council,
Yeah, I've been
I've
trying to
read this. Hello? Council, I've read this and I've gone over this and I've done a little research on this. One, in order for us to make a decision on this, I would ask one for a job description of that person that's going to be warranted that duty. Can we take this? I think this needs some discussion, and it truly does. This needs to be discussed, and if it's the consensus of the body, we will place this on the agenda for next week for discussion, because there are some questions, and that's going to take more time than we have here today. So we'll place this on the agenda for next week. Is that the consensus of this body?
Item number 22, Chair. Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, consent.
This will be an item for next week discussion. Item number 23, please.
A resolution authorizing Fred Hawkins, professional engineer, to provide civil engineering services to the city of Bessemer.
This again, I received a call on Saturday about this resolution. And I have some reservations, and my reservations, I asked Daniel, did we have any minority participation in this? And he stated he did not know. I would ask this body, let's place this for discussion on next week instead of just going into a contract with someone that we don't know anything about. And I would say give us that courtesy to look at it and to discuss it before we do a vote on it.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
Madam Chair.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, is this, I mean, I don't recall this ever being brought before the council. Is this the first time of seeing this by resolution?
This is the first time. That's why I had a reservations.
I heard what you
asked,
said. I'm just asking, making sure that I didn't miss anything.
I don't think that you missed anything, Councilor Crusoe.
Yes,
I would just like for the body to discuss it and we come back with.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
To say what Councilor Marshall always says, I don't want a resolution just thrown in my face the day of council meeting. We need, and also I've been asking Councilor Crusoe, been asking Councilor Matthews, as well as you. We need more minority participation, whether it be women, but we need more minority participation in the city of Bessemer. So can we?
I totally agree.
Can we move this to planning session for more discussion, please?
That is what I'm asking this body.
Madam Chair.
Madam
Yes,
President,
sir.
Madam President.
One moment, please. Councilor Marshall.
Let me clear up what Councilor Alexander said. This was not just thrown at us today. Everything that we've got in this pack, we got Friday. So you are right, something coming in on the day, but this was in the packet that came out Friday. So you had plenty of time to look at it.
But Councilor Marshall, they haven't been before us, no presentation.
Councilor Alexander.
That ain't the point. You said the resolution. You said the
Mr.
resolution.
Singleton, Mr. Singleton, mute both of those mics, please. Mayor Gully.
Madam President.
Yes, sir.
With all due respect, people, and I'll try and stuff to make sure in my comments I don't offend anybody, because obviously every time I talk, people don't like the way I say it. But you know, to attack, make a comment concerning minority and so participation, as if I don't go out and solicit minority participation. There's no other way to put it. It's a slap in my face. When I built this city hall facility with a minority architect, we built the rec center, and so with a minority architect, we built in the program manager, A.G. Gaston, minority in some firm. We built in such a recycling center with a minority in some firm. We just did $1 million worth of sidewalks around the schools here in the city of Bessemer. Sarkor, a minority and a woman engineering firm overseas and stuff that. So I do take issue with that, and I take that and stuff as an insult to me when people and stuff say that. But I understand the games that are being played. But and stuff, you know, hey, I can't sit here and accept the fact when minority has participated in the city of Bessemer more than they ever have since I've been associated with this city. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am, Councilor Crusoe.
Okay, it's not so much as, which I would, it's good to know that we have such minority participation under your leadership. My concern regarding this resolution is that no discussion on it. I mean, and I know if I'm not mistaken, anytime we have jobs of this capacity, I mean, normally bids go out. I mean, am I correct? I mean, I'm more than certain on clearing this much square footage that it exceeds $15,000. What was this job placed up for bidding, Mayor Gully?
Madam President,
yes, sir, Mayor.
Councilor Crusoe.
Yes, sir.
No, ma'am, because the only reason that this resolution was placed forward, and I have no problem with discussing it, but we all know of our infrequency of meetings because of COVID, is because there was a conflict of interest between our city engineer that made him unavailable and so to do the engineering for a particular project. Now, I would assume and stuff that this will not reach the particular point where it would have needed to be bidded and stuff out. Now, I do know Ron is on the line. He can speak a little bit more and so concerning his conflict of interest, where we even had to do this to avoid any appearance of impropriety going forward when it comes to a project that we have off of Morgan Road that the engineer had a conflict of interest and stuff with. That's why this is before you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Gibbard, are you here?
I am.
Okay, can you, roughly, I know it's hard to state, the cost and timing concerning the project, but just with your expertise in this area, is it safe to say that this job will exceed $15,000?
It will not. But let me add some things I think will probably help clear a lot of this up. This is about a job. It's called Project Repeat. The council may be aware of this project going in off of Morgan Road. It's going to be a 1,200,000 square foot distribution center that's moving forward. Saying that, I have been working with a construction firm for the past 20 years. We do their engineering work. It just so happens that the general contractor will most likely choose them to do a design build on the civil portion of this project. And with me being the city engineer, I wanted to make that clear to the mayor and the council that I didn't feel it proper for me to do the engineering work for the civil portion of this job and also do the review work for the city. So what this is doing is this is requesting that Fred Hawkins, who served as city engineer for the city of Birmingham and also the city of Alabaster, he has adequate and good experience in dealing with these types of developments and also dealing with city ordinances and requirements. I had done the research. I know Fred, I made a recommendation to the mayor. I think he would fill that position well for this one job. All the other jobs going on in the city, I would act as I always act, but this one job, I would feel much more comfortable with someone else doing the review.
And you did say it would be less than 15,000?
Yes, ma'am. I think it'll probably be more in the $10,000 range.
Madam President, I'm sorry, Brian, go ahead.
And I was just going to say professional services are not bid anyway.
Madam President, that was my point, was that professional services are not subject to the state bid law, so the $15,000 amount would not come into question in this whatsoever. Second, he's sitting in as a substitute city engineer for Ron. So the appointment of the city engineer falls under the mayor. So it's my opinion that it would be under the mayor's authority to appoint Mr. Hawkins, but the contract for this matter would be subject to the council review.
Attorney Harris?
No, I concur, but with the latter statement for the city council's review and approval on the awarding the contract.
And if I may, Councilor Donald, this is Ron Gilbert. I'd like to say one other thing. These projects are very time sensitive. And I think this is going to be at a $70 to $75 million project overall. You know, when they get approval to purchase the land and when they purchase the land, and they really like to move forward as quickly as possible. And I think one of the things that the developers that have worked in the city have been pleased about working with the city is the city's very aware of that. And the city team helps them move those projects forward quickly.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir, Councilor Marshall.
And that was going to be my question to Mr. Gilbert, this time-sensitive nature of this. We need to really move on it. And I would like to move the resolution.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am, Councilor Crusoe.
I mean, that's one of the things that we need to always take in consideration too, as far as in time sensitivity. Don't wait until a deadline to come throwing a resolution before us. I think that we need to go a little more in depth concerning this.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
Councilor Marshall. Councilor Marshall.
I'm a detailed person also, okay? And I don't take any of this lightly, but I know the time sensitivity. And if we're gonna sit around and try to discuss engineers, which none of us have, you know, in my opinion, the ability to decide who's a good civil engineer and who's not, you know, and if it's an appointment of the mayor, then I mean, we need to move on it and deal with that at some later point. But we're not going to decide on a civil engineer in a planning session. We need to trust the city engineer that we have, that he's recommending someone who has the qualifications, who can get the job done, who can help move this project along. I mean, the city is making progress. But if we start getting into, we want to evaluate every engineer, every this or that, then we're going to slow down projects and people are going to start looking to go places where they can get things done that they need to get done. And I believe that Mr. Gilbert has the knowledge and understands and has value in the credentials that this engineer has, and that he can perform the work. So I think
Thank
we
you,
need to
Councilor
move on with
Marshall.
that.
I need a motion and a second, please.
I've made the motion, ma'am.
Okay, need a second, please.
Second.
There's been properly motioned and second that we will hire Mr. Fred Hawkins to provide civil engineering services for the city of Bessemer. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander,
No.
Counselor Collier. Counselor Collier.
It appears that he has left the meeting.
He has left. Counselor Marshall.
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
He has left the meeting.
And Counselor Thigpen.
They muted him out. He said he vote yes. Go ahead, Mr. Jarvis.
Mr. Jarvis, somebody vote. Come on in, Ms. Coleman. Someone, Mr. Singleton, one moment, Mr. Counselor Collier. Mr. Singleton, you muted Counselor Collier out.
No, it fell off when I tried to unmute my mic.
He tried to unmute his mic and he hit the button and took him all the way back out.
Yes, ma'am, I do not see him.
Yeah, it took him out. I don't see him on my computer either. He's trying to get back in.
He hadn't appeared as
We
of
can
yet.
continue with the vote, can't we?
We can continue with the vote.
Thigpen.
Okay, Counselor Thigpen.
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe.
No. Nay.
Counselor Donald.
Nay. Counselor Collier is trying to get back on the line.
Okay.
We don't see him.
He's coming in now, Madam President.
He's coming in, okay.
So may I ask a question?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
a multi-million-dollar project.
Oh, you got backlash, Donna. I can't hear you.
So we're going to hold up a multi-million-dollar project because
well, we should.
$1 fee possibly being paid to an engineer.
No, ma'am, I wouldn't say that we're holding. I can't hear you. You're muting yourself, Counselor Thigpen. I can't hear you.
I am unmuted on my.
I can hear you now. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I said we're holding up a multi-million-dollar project because we don't want to pay $10,000 to a different engineering company that we would have paid Mr. Gilbert had he been able to handle this.
I don't think that's the issue, Counselor Thigpen. Yes, ma'am, Counselor Crusoe. Did you say something?
No, I was saying that's not the principle. That's not the principle. You know, again, I say, I speak on behalf of Counselor Crusoe. I'm beyond getting to the gate and something just be placed before me without going in depth or it not being listed where other people have an option or an opportunity for taking on that job as well. So again, I ask that we go a little more in depth. No, it's not trying to hold up the progress of the city. I mean, I'm all for the progress of the city. I'm also in favor for fairness as far as in who it opportunes.
Madam Chair, I think it's
We're
at some
waiting on
point.
Councilor Marshall. I have not acknowledged you yet. We're waiting on Councilor Collier. One moment, please.
I'm back.
Okay,
I'm back.
okay.
I'm back.
Okay, Councilor Collier. Miss Taylor.
Councilor Collier, what is your vote for item number 23?
Yes, that we go ahead with the motion made. I didn't hear the motion because I had just clicked off at the time by mistake.
You gonna vote on something?
Someone made the motion. Did someone make, I'm about to clarify. Did someone make the motion to go ahead and go ahead with the project?
Yes.
Councilor Marshall made the motion.
Okay.
Councilor
All right.
Thigpen seconded.
Okay.
Yes.
So yes, ma'am. So my answer is yes.
So we have 3 ayes and 3 nays. So we have a tied vote.
Attorney, one moment. I can't hear you, Councilor Thigpen. What'd you say? Put your hand. Oh, okay. Now, what did you say?
So who's going to vet another civil engineer who knows enough about it than, you know, who knows more than Mr. Gilbert and the mayor to choose a civil engineer to take the place?
One moment. As I told Daniel on Saturday, I look to them for that because we pay them enough to do that. But I also would want information before me ahead of time. I am for this city moving so far out, no other city can catch up with us. But I would just love to know before time, as the mayor said, before time, you throw this on me and then I have to go and research and on this item that and holding up the project. That's not my intent, and I'm speaking for Councilor Donald. That is not my intent. Now, Attorney Harris, Attorney Harris.
Yes.
Attorney Page.
Go ahead.
Okay, Attorney Harris. There's a 3-3 vote, and Councilor Matthews somehow got disconnected. Wherever he is, he's at work, and wherever he is, he got disconnected. Is it possible that by law we can call him, see if we can get him to vote on this particular project?
If he rejoins this session, I would believe if he can quickly rejoin this section. I can't say we could do it by any separate call. I think it would have to be, because by rule, I think we all have to be able to hear one another. So
right.
I think you have to be in this through this medium here. That can be done.
He has dropped off.
Councilor Matthews had to return back to work.
He had to return back to work.
And if he can't join this session, he'd be out of this session.
So Greg, this is Shan.
Yeah.
Do you hold the same position that this would be an appointment of the mayor?
Well, but what we're doing is approving the contract, are we not?
Correct. So, but my point is, I don't think that the council has the authority to tell the mayor, no, we're not going to approve the contract. For this one, you'll have to bring in someone else. I mean, there's case law that says that if it's a mayor's appointment, that the mayor has the right to make the appointment and the council must pay, quote, a reasonable fee. Have you not seen that case law also?
I haven't seen them, but I have seen the cases with in general where the mayor has the appointing authority, but the contract itself is a matter in the sound discretion of the council.
And it's a tie, so it has to be moved over to the next session.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir, Councilor Marshall.
Is anybody on this council gonna know any more about any engineer who comes to us or who's recommended to us? I mean, you talk about, you got the information in your packet. You may not know who that engineer is. You may not know all the engineering terms, but you're still not gonna know any of that about the next engineer. We've got a qualified city engineer, and we ought to be able to respect and accept his recommendation in this case. We we make ourselves look very little and very bad when we hold up a project like this just because we think we ought to know exactly who the engineer is. None of us are gonna know whoever he may recommend. And how long will it take for him to recommend one that we agree on? We've got to at some point accept somebody's recommendation, and I think that recommendation would be the city engineer. Other than that,
Attorney Harris, you've had your 3 minutes, Councilor Marshall. Attorney Harris.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you not say, was it you or Attorney Payton say that it may be the appointment of the mayor?
Yeah, when the mayor selects, yeah, and I don't disagree with that, but I do think the approval of contracts is city council matters.
And with it being a tie, with the 6 councilors that are here, we have spoke with Councilor Matthews and he is at someone's house. So I'm quite sure he cannot join us right now. With the 6 councilors that's here, is it legal that we go through another vote, please? Can we do another vote?
I believe that you could. Today? You mean today, right? At this point?
I mean, right now.
I don't see any reason why, Miss Payton, you see any reason why we can't do that?
No, sir.
Okay.
I need a motion and a second, please.
I move the item.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Councilor Alexander.
This is not to exceed $10,000.
I would put that in my motion.
Well, who made the motion?
I'm sorry, Council. Was that the reasonable fee anticipated? Started out? Is that?
What could we ask Mr. Gilbert? I believe he said that was a reasonable fee.
Yes, sir. On the 3 we've done previously, there was of this size, our fees ran in that range of around $10,000. Yes.
So I would include the $10,000 maximum in the resolution.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I move to authorize to go into contract with Fred Hawkins Professional Engineering Civil Services.
It has already been motioned, been second. We just need a yay or nay.
No.
Ms. Taylor?
Councilor
Taylor?
Collier.
Aye.
Councilor Marshall.
Aye.
Councilor Matthews is left.
He has left the meeting.
Absent.
Councilor Thigpen.
Aye.
Councilor Crusoe. Councilor Crusoe.
Nay.
Councilor Donald.
Aye.
4 ayes, 2 nays. The motion carries.
Item number 24, please.
Resolution authorizing the preparation and letting of bid proposals for the professional cleaning services at Bessemer City Hall.
Attorney Payton, would you like to speak to that?
Yes, ma'am. The contract for falls cleaning services in September the 30th. Under Alabama law, you continue to service until there's a new contract. And this contract has a 60-day termination period, but the contract has expired as of September the 30th. We were requested to prepare this authorization of letting of RFP for cleaning services at Bessemer City Hall, and that is what is before you.
Councilors, you see your resolution. We need a motion and a second, please. Are there any concerns and or questions?
I move the motion.
I need a second, please.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander,
Aye.
Counselor Collier,
Madam President, I was trying to hit my mic when you was trying to ask for any concerns or about the motion.
Yes,
Before
sir.
y'all did that, but I was actually trying to find it in my pack. Must have. So we're voting on to replace this company.
No, sir. We're voting to put it out an RFP to get other companies as well as this company to send a bid in. Yes, sir.
Okay, so this company can rebid. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, sir. This company
Okay.
can.
Okay.
rebid.
All right. All right.
Counselor Marshall, Counselor Marshall, Counselor Thigpen,
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe,
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you. I need a motion to carry us out and into executive session for
Counselor
item
Donald.
numbers. Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry, Madam Chair, the main person that wanted to know the reason, Counselor Marshall, is not on the line anymore.
I'm sorry, Counselor Alexander.
The person that wanted to know the conflict of interest and more information, Counselor Marshall, he's not on the line anymore.
I think Counselor Thigpen as well wanted
Okay.
to know. I
Okay.
think she did as well. So I need a
Madam Chair.
motion to.
Okay, just one
Yes,
second
ma'am.
before we go into executive session. Do we want to go ahead and entertain the counselors' comments?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
You don't put that way. Okay, go ahead.
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
I need a motion to carry us out and into executive session, please.
Because in the recording.
I need a motion.
Okay, motion that we enter into executive session concerning the library appointment.
And why are we entering?
The reconsideration of the library appointee.
Is it for good name and character? Is that correct? Attorney Harris?
If that's what you're going to discuss.
I'm back online. I'm back.
Well, thank you for coming back.
All right. You're welcome.
Okay. I need a second, please.
Second.
Okay. Has been properly moved in second. I need a roll call, Mr. Taylor. And then we'll get to Attorney Payton.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, Attorney Harris.
Okay, we still have the live going on in executive session.
We hadn't voted to leave yet.
We have to vote first.
Yeah, we need to
And
vote
then
first and then
Just
stop the
remind-
recording.
Yes, we have to vote first.
Counselor Alexander,
Aye.
Counselor Collier,
Aye.
Counselor Marshall,
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen,
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe,
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Attorney Harris and or Attorney Payton.
Okay, let us stop the recording right now.
Right, we need to cut the
No,
recording.
no, no, not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Greg, go ahead, because I have no idea what is going on here. You
Well-
researched it, know it, so I don't.
Well-
So you go ahead.
Well, here's what I'm going to add to say with respect to that. My name is Greg Harris. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama. And to the extent that this discussion that to ensue involve the good name and character of individuals, I believe this is a matter that can be discussed in an executive session.
How much time do y'all need? You need to put that in there too.
No.
Counselor Crusoe, how much time do you think you're going to need?
About a minute or two. It doesn't take long at all.
How about 5 minutes?
That's fine.
Like 5 minutes.
So, yeah,
All
because
right.
we're in this forum, I think we need to state what time we're going to return.
What time is it now?
So
We
it's
were checking at
12:59
1.
p.m.
1:05. It's 1 o'clock. 1:05.
All right, I'm stopping the recording now.
Madam President, it's Rick Singleton.
Yes, sir, Mr. Singleton.
I've stopped the recording on Zoom, or would you like me to suspend Zoom, or will we be ending the Zoom meeting?
No, sir, suspend Zoom because we're going to come back out of executive session because we have one more item number 26, Mr. Singleton.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam President.
Yes, sir.
Before we